Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us again today. I'm Danielle Major, joined by Michelle Scott and Tim Ryan Young, and we want to talk about Zoho campaigns and the bot filtering solution that they provided recently, along with Apple's MPP. So, Michelle, do you want to explain to us kind of the issue that we have and what this all fixes?
Absolutely. So I think each and every one of us at some point, any of us that have implemented campaigns, have had to explain the results of those campaigns to our users. So, in other words, if I were to jump into campaigns and look at a sent campaign report, you're looking at open rates and click rates and things like that. And, trying to compare those toward industry
Standard.
averages and what's good and what's crappy and what have you. And are people engaging and clicking things? So Zoho has rolled out this solution to help give us a more real engagement number around those two things, opens and clicks. And then we'll talk about the Apple MPP thing at the end. But again, filtering your actual engagement data in a way that we're going to end up with real numbers.
Yeah.
And to put that in real world context, I think we've all experienced when you look at the numbers, you'll look at like Jane Smith at ABC Corporation. She opened the email 11 times. And you're like, I don't think Jane Smith really opened it 11
Our
times.
content's really cool, but it's not that
It's
cool.
not that cool. And the metrics is saying that she did and realistically in the real world, some of those opens were what they call bots. And that's why they added this bot filtering, because they can now identify whether it's a human or whether it's not and filter it out to give us more accurate open rates and click rates, etc.
Right.
So I'm excited about it. I think it's going to help us in the marketing end a lot.
Yeah. If you want to go ahead and share your screen, Michelle, I'll just talk a little bit to add on to what Tim was saying there. You'll see metrics like Jessica clicked on all the links in the email. And basically the issue is I'll look at open click reports and you've got 65% of your audience open this email or whatever. And it actually is bots that are opening some of these. And to explain what the bots are is I can use my Outlook or whatever. I have spam filtering set up in my Outlook, my Office 365 organization. And that spam filter, when I get an email in, I've got my spam filter set really high up, but it's not just spam. It is also looking for malicious links. It's looking for phishing. It's looking for all of those bad things, and it's protecting me. That's the whole reason I have it set up. However, unfortunately, when Michelle sends that campaign to me, my virus scanning bot, my virus scanning software, opens up that email before I even see it, haven't even seen it yet. And it actually opens up that email and it inspects all the URLs, all the links, it inspects the content before it even delivers it to my inbox. So before I've even seen it, Michelle looks at it and I've opened it 6 times and I've clicked on every link in there. And so that's the problem we're trying to solve.
That's a really good way to explain it. And that bot scanning it, campaigns and other email marketing tools see those as clicks and opens. When I go to an email here, you'll see mine says bot filtering enabled. If you're not remembering that little piece or you want to just ensure that it's turned on, I'm going to go to my campaigns settings with the little gear in the upper right. And you'll notice a new menu item under the general settings. If I click on bot filtering, it's going to be enabled by default, by the way, across data centers. So this should be enabled for everyone, but just if you want to, automatically. If you just want to check it, it's under your settings. It's toggled to enabled. I can't think of a real good reason unless you guys can of why you'd turn it off.
I agree. I don't know why you ever would, but
Yeah, I'm not sure turning it
she's
off.
smirking. She'll know.
No. You might want to tweak some of the items under it. It's up to you. It makes your life easier, not easier. It doesn't matter. But to show them what the 2 options are. And maybe you want to turn one of those options off. Like Michelle and Tim said, I don't see any reason why you would actually turn the bot filter itself off.
I wouldn't recommend that you do, but these 2 options, when it is enabled, you'll also see exclude bot activities from entering segments. Segments are criteria-based targeting lists, for a lack of a better word,
Mhm.
dynamically created and managed within Zoho that give you the ability to target things based on, values, whether they open something or something like that, put them in a segment. So based on their engagement, and we're calling opens and clicks engagement in marketing terms here, putting them in a segment. So if you're going to send another email, you want to exclude those bots, those scanning devices from those segments.
Mhm.
We also want to exclude them from entering workflows. And
Right.
workflows are things that we're going to trigger based on those engagement activities. Like think about, a good example might be if someone clicks a specific link in an email, schedule a task or send them a follow-up email I don't want to do that if it's just a bot. So it's going to exclude those little scanning robots, if you will. It's going to exclude those from your segments and your workflows.
Right. And it's there to separate the real human engagement from the automated items. So again, I don't see any real reason to turn it off. One thing I do want to mention though is I'm so happy with how quickly Zoho was able to get this out. So
Yeah.
we've had some kerfuffle over this recently, more clients calling and asking because people are putting in more advanced virus scanning. The virus scanning is getting better, more security. People are using security more often. So therefore that's being rolled out and people have started complaining and, oh my gosh, Zoho's metrics are wrong. And so how quickly they brought this out, I was so impressed with how fast they jumped on this and solved it. And one of the other items that you'll notice is that they not only do it for going in the future, but they've also done it for past campaigns as well.
So we'll look at that a little bit in the reporting and what this means for your metrics. So if I'll just use our most recent email that we sent out from our last Webipotamus. This one was kind of so big, we wanted to do an impromptu one to get this info out there. So what it's doing now is filtering out your actual open rate, including bots is a whole different number. So again, those bots really can skew your open rates. And you can see reliable opens, what that number is. So it's filtering out and giving us a much more specific actual human interaction. Same for clicks, right? So the actual clicks versus if we were to include the bots and then click-through rate, if we were to including bots, what the click-through rate would be.
And you know what I find really interesting here is in my head, when I would look at these rates, either with a client, the open rates, or my own that I'm sending out, I would always kind of just guesstimate like maybe 30% less than what it was. And now that I'm looking at with the bot filter on, I'm finding that it's more like 45, sometimes even 50% of what they say are opens aren't really opens. And it's going to make our ability to micro target people that are actually engaging with our marketing. It's going to be so much more accurate. That part of it, I think, is going to really help us up level marketing to make it so much more effective because we're going to know when someone's actually clicking a link or actually opening an email. So that's
exactly.
I think it's going to be really cool.
Yes,
it really is. I believe Michelle sent this out on April 8th, right? So
I was just going to go there because we were talking about this earlier. Yeah.
Right. So April 9th or whatever, she would look at this and she got like a 65% open rate. And so the beauty of this is it isn't just going forward, but it's actually going to be on your past items as well. You're going to see it on your older campaigns. But for any campaign sent after April 1st, 2025, you're going to see the full breakdown of everything that's there. You have some stuff prior to April 1st, which I think is just exceptional. Again, I couldn't be any prouder of Zoho for being able to get this in here.
And I love, imagine these 308 bots would have ended up in another marketing segment or triggered something that I really didn't want it to trigger because it's not actual engagement. I don't want my prospect or my client to say, why are you sending? I did not open your email. So it not only gives us more valid, but it is to what you guys are saying. It really does give you more targeted, more control over what's happening because it's filtering those out. So
And just to tie it back, when we were looking at the bot in the settings, and there,
yes,
the bot filter is on, and then there were those two check boxes.
yes,
That's what we're talking about. If you uncheck those, then it's going to start sending it to bot
it would
response you
include
don't
all
want.
of these numbers,
And so
correct?
now it's going to filter those out and only send it when it's real organic
Yeah.
clicking or opening, which is again fantastic.
And the other thing that we kind of mentioned in the beginning, which is Apple MPP. And somebody remind me, what does the alphabet soup stand for? MPP.
I don't know, I'm guessing Apple Mail Protection Protocol.
Yeah.
Did I
Yeah.
get
Apple's
it? I
mail
remembered
privacy
it.
protection.
Yeah. Mail
Pri-
privacy and
Apple's
protection.
There, she got it. I knew you'd know it, Daniel. You always know those.
so basically another kind of false number that we would always, and again, I don't know if you guys did this too. I found myself training people to discount their numbers, right? Because certain things were doing certain things. So most email marketing platforms embed a pixel in an email. The user or the recipient isn't seeing the pixel, but when it, how would you describe when it loads, I guess, in the email client, that pixel, that counts as the actual open. We
Right.
used to do it differently in days past, but now that little embedded pixel and Apple's privacy protection, MPP, was again sort of falsifying that basically. It was
Yeah.
kind of preventing
Preloading
senders
it.
from
They were
using
suppressing it,
that.
right?
It was,
Yeah.
yeah, preloading it. So therefore,
You weren't
again,
actually getting, again, a real engagement number. So now Zoho has again rolled out with this bot filtering the Apple MPP opens. So we can see the percentage of emails that were actually affected due to that MPP in your reporting numbers.
right. Yep.
All about accurate engagement numbers that we've all been asking for. So this is big.
Yeah. Very cool. I'm
And
very
I did want to mention there is a full knowledge base article on this as well. I know I'll go ahead and include it when I email this out to everybody, but the email or the knowledge base article has all of this information that we talked about here and explains a lot of it
Right.
in more detail. So you'll have that as a resource. Anything else?
Nope, that was it. I just wanted to get that one out quick because it was definitely needed and just a quick little session.
And this should be automatically turned on for everybody in North America, so you should already have it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. We will hopefully see you again soon.
Thanks
Thanks, guys.
all. Bye.